Christ. Set me up with some Lord's fragrance. Shalom, Israel. Isupk HQ Sabbath service has officially begun. Shapar, which means home. Yayan, which means wine. La Yasharala, which means to Israel. Shapar again. Man, women of Israel. So if you're watching at home, you should know where the east is at and follow my orders. So Wapanya Hakwadam, which means turn and face the east. We're going to recite the Lord's Prayer in the Hebrew. Abanawa. Shabbat Shemayim, Kodash, Hayah, Shamka, Yahweh, Malakovka, Taba'ah, Atazaka, Hayah, Aisha, Ba'arataza, Hawa, Hayah, Bashamayim, Nathunlanawa, Nakam, Ka, Yawam, Wasalakanawa, Kawawakanawa, Kasalakanawa, Kawawakanawa, Wala'ah, Tabayai now. Banasai one. Abal. Hawashai now. Mayan. Rai. Kaya. Laka. Hamalakwa. Wahahala. Waha Tapa'araf. La'ai Walumyam. Aman. In the English, our Father, which art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. Yahweh, thy kingdom come. Thy will be done in earth as it is in heaven. Give us this day our daily bread. And forgive us our debts as we forgive our debtors. And lead us not into temptation, but deliver us from evil. For thine is the kingdom, and the power, and the glory, forever. So be it. Hakam, the power in the Hebrew. Yahweh. Ba'ashem Yahushai, Abakashah, Thundernawa, Hakak, Larapa'ah, Kamakala, Wakamadawa, Hakak, Nata'ah, Hamatazarayim, Hakak, Lahakayam, Hamathayam, Hakak, Al-Rakaraf, Hatama'ala, Nagarushan, Ba'ashem Yahushai, Tawada Aman. In the English, Yahweh. In the name of Yahushua, please give us the power. The power to heal all manner of sickness and all manner of disease. The power to cleanse the lepers. The power to raise the dead. The power against unclean spirits. To cast them out. In the name of Yahushua. Thank you. So be it. Psalm 121 in the Hebrew. Asha'ah. Ayanya. Ahahoyam. Mahayan. Yaba'ah. Isaiah Ma'aim, Yahweh, Aisha, Shamayam, Wa'arataza, Al-Yatan, Lamawat, Wagalka, Al-Yanawam, Shamarka, Hanala'ah, Yanawam, Wala'ah, Yayashan, Shawamar, Yasharala, Yahweh, Shamarka, Yahweh, Tazarka, Adyai, Yamyanka, Yawamam, Ashamash, La'ah, Yakaka, Wayarak, Balayala, Yahweh, Yashamarka, Makarai, Yashamar, Afna Pashka, Yahweh, Yashamar, Tazafka, Wabawaka, Ma'aika, Wa'ai I will learn, In the English, I will lift up my eyes into the hills.
I will lift up my eyes into the hills.
From whence cometh my help?
From whence cometh my help?
My help cometh from Yahweh.
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 Which made heaven and earth.
Which made heaven and earth.
He will not suffer thy foot to be moved.
He will not suffer thy foot to be moved.
He that keepeth thee
He that keepeth
will not slumber.
will not slumber.
Behold,
Behold,
he that keepeth Israel
he that keepeth Israel
shall neither slumber nor sleep.
shall neither slumber nor sleep.
Yahweh is thy keeper.
Yahweh is thy keeper.
Yahweh is thy shade upon thy right hand.
Yahweh is thy shade upon thy right hand.
The sun shall not smite thee by day,
The sun shall not smite thee by day,
nor the moon by night.
nor the moon by night.
Yahweh shall preserve thee
Yahweh shall preserve thee
from all
from
evil.
all evil.
He shall preserve thy soul.
He shall preserve thy soul.
Yahweh shall preserve thy going out
Yahweh shall preserve thy going out
and thy coming in,
and thy coming
from this time forth,
from this time forth,
even forevermore.
even forevermore.
Psalm 83 in the Hebrew. Al-Hayim,
Al-Hayim,
Al-Damayalaka,
Al-Damayalaka,
Al-Takarash,
Al-Takarat,
wa Al-Tashakwat,
Al-Tashakwat,
Al-Kayahana,
Hayana,
Hawayabyaka,
Al-Yabika,
Yahweh, Yahama Yawan,
Yahama Yawan,
Wamashana Yaka,
Abashaniyaka,
Nasha'awa,
Nasha'awa,
Ra'ash,
Ra'ash,
Al-Aimaka,
Al-Ayman,
Ya'ira Yamwa,
Ya'ira Yamwa,
Sawa,
Sabah,
Wayataya Aita Sawa,
Wayataya Aitazawa,
Altazapawanyaka,
Altazapawanyaka,
Amawa,
Amaw,
Lakawa,
Lakawa,
Wanakakina,
Wanakakira,
Magoya,
Magoy,
Wala'a,
Wala'a,
Yazakar,
Yazakar,
Sham Yasharala,
Sham Nasharala,
Aiwa,
Aiwa,
Kaya,
Kaya,
Nawa Aita Sawa,
Naya Aitazawa,
La,
La,
Yakadwa,
Yakadwa,
Al Yaka,
Alika,
Bara'af,
Ara'ah,
Yakarafwa,
Yakawak,
Ahoya,
Ahoy,
Adawam,
Alawam,
Wayasha, Wama, Waya Shamaya Alayum,
Wa Yashama Island,
Mawa Abba,
Abu,
Wa Hagoyam,
Bahagari,
Gabor,
the ball,
Wa Imawan,
Iwan,
Wa Imalak,
I'm a lot,
Palashah,
Alasha,
An Yashabia,
I'm the shop,
Tazawar,
as well,
Gum Yashawar,
I'm the Ashua,
Nalawa,
Alawa,
Iman,
I'm one,
Hayawa,
I was,
Zawar,
the why,
Labanya Lawat,
the bundle of what,
Salah,
the lot,
Aisha Laham,
I saw ya,
Hamadian,
Amadi,
Kasaya Sara'ah,
Kasa Saya,
Kayabian,
Yabu,
Banakal,
but a call,
Kwayashwan,
for Yashwan,
Nashamadwa,
Nashamadu,
Ba'ayan the Ara,
by a under hour,
Hayawa,
Hayawa,
Daman,
the man,
La Adama,
the Adaman,
Shayatamwa,
Shayatambu,
Nadayamawa,
the Yabu,
Ka'ira,
Kaira,
Wakaza Abba,
because the Abu,
Wakaza Ba,
because the Bak,
Wakata Zalmanai,
because the Zalman,
Hanasayakamwa,
how to say a cover,
Ashara,
Shah,
Amara,
Amal,
Naya Rasha,
Naya Rishah,
Lanawa,
Lanawa,
Ah, Na'awa,
Nawa,
Alahayam,
Alahayam,
Alahaya,
Alahaya,
Shayatamwa,
Shayatambu,
Kagagala,
Gagala,
Kakwash,
Kwa,
Lapanya Raka,
the Panya Raka,
Ka'ash,
Ka'ash,
Taba'ira Ya'ira,
Tabahiri Iri,
Waka La'aba,
Wakala
Talahat,
Talahat,
Haryam,
Hari,
Kantaradakma,
Kandar Dak,
Basairika,
Basari,
Wabasa Wapafka,
Babasawapap,
Tabahalam,
Tabahalam,
Mala'a,
Mala'a,
Panyaham,
Panya,
Kwalawan,
Palawam,
Wayabakwashwa,
Kwash,
Shamka,
Shamka,
Yahawa,
Yahawa,
Yabashwa,
Yabashwa,
Wayaba'awa,
Ayabaal,
Ayai,
Ayai,
Wayakapawa,
Ayakapal,
Wayabadwa,
Ayabad,
Wayada'ira,
Ayad,
Kaya,
Kaya,
Afla, Shamka,
Shamka,
Yahawa,
Yahawa,
Labadka,
Labad,
Ayawan,
Ayawan,
Al-Ka-Ha'arakaza.
Al-Kalma, Rakza.
Keep not thy silence, O my power.
Keep not thy silence on my power.
Hold not thy peace.
Hold not thy
And
peace.
be not still.
And be not still.
O my power.
O my power.
For lo,
For lo,
thy enemies make it tumult.
thy enemies make it
And
tomorrow.
they that hate
And
thee
they that hate
have lifted up their hand.
have lifted up their
They
hands.
have taken crafty counsel against thy people.
They have taken crafty counsel against thy
And
people.
consulted against thy hidden ones.
And consulted against thy enemies.
They have said,
They have said,
come,
come,
and let us cut them off from being a nation.
let us cut them off.
That the name of Israel
That the name of
may be
Israel
no more in remembrance.
is no more remembered.
For they have consulted together
For they have consulted together
with one consent.
with one consent.
They are confederate against thee.
They are confederate against
The tabernacles of Edom,
the tabernacles of Judah,
and the Ishmaelites,
the Israelites,
of Moab,
Moab,
and the Hagarenes,
I agree,
the Paul,
Moab,
and Ammon,
and them,
and Amalek,
and Amalek,
the Philistines,
Philistines,
with The inhabitants of Tyre.
The inhabitants of Tyre.
Esau also is joined with them.
Esau also is joined.
They have hope in the children of Lot.
They have hope in the children of Lot.
Salah.
Salah.
Doing to them.
Doing to them.
As unto the Midianites.
As unto the Midianites.
As to Sisera.
As
As to Jabin. At the brook of Kison. Which
Which
perished at Endor.
perished at
They became as dung for the earth.
They became as dung for the earth.
Make their nobles like Oreb.
Make their nobles like Oreb.
And like Zahab.
And like Zahab.
Yea,
Yea,
all their princes
all their
as
princes
Sabbath
as the
and as Salmuna, who said,
who said,
let us take to ourselves
let us take to
the
ourselves
houses of the power and possession.
the houses of the power and possession.
All my power,
All my power.
make them like a wheel,
Make them like the wood.
as the stubble before the wind,
As the stone before
as the fire burneth the wood,
as the fire burns.
and as the flames set of the mountains on fire.
And as the flames of the mountains on fire.
So persecute them without tempest,
So persecute them without tempest.
and make them afraid without storm.
And make them afraid without storm.
Fill their faces with shame,
Because their faces be shade.
that they may seek thy name.
That they may seek thy name.
Oh Yahweh,
All your hour.
let them be confounded
Let them be confounded.
and troubled forever.
And troubled forever.
Yea,
Yea,
let them be put to shame
let them be put to shame.
and perish,
And perish.
that men may know
That men may know
that thou,
that thou,
whose name alone is
whose name alone is,
Yahweh,
the power
art the Most High
of the Most High
over all the earth.
of all the earth.
Blessing in the Hebrew. Barakatah Yahweh.
Barakatah Yahweh.
Why Yahweh Shah?
Why Yahweh Shah?
Why Mayaka Allah?
Why Mayaka?
Why Alahayim?
Why Alahayim?
Matazab Ya'ah.
Matazabya.
Alawak Yahana.
Alawak Yahana.
Ha Alawakyam.
Ha Alawak.
Ha Saranyam.
Ha Surrender.
Ha Kwatazayanyam.
Ha Kutzayam.
Ha Kayanyanyam.
Ha Kayayam.
Wa Ha Aquakian.
Why Ha Kwak.
Yahweh.
Yahweh.
Bashim Yahshah.
Why Shim Yahshah.
Wada Aman.
What
In the English. Bless you, Yahweh.
Bless you, Yahweh.
And Yahushua.
And Yahweh.
And Michael.
And
And the angel.
And the
Commander General Yohana.
Meditate
The generals.
General.
The captains.
Captain.
The officers.
Oh.
The troopers.
Troop.
And the sisters.
And
Yahweh.
Yahweh.
In the name of Yahushua.
Name Yahweh.
Thank you.
Thank you.
So be it.
So be it.
Bless Israel. Yahweh.
Yahweh.
Bashim Yahushua.
Shim Yahweh.
Barak Lanawa.
Barak Lanawa.
Wa Yasharala.
Why Yasharala.
Waha Bayah.
Baha Baha.
Saparium.
The party.
Barak.
Barak.
Rapa'ah.
Baha.
Magun.
Good.
Hagun.
The good.
Yasharala.
Yasharala.
Bashim Yahushua.
Shim Yahweh.
The Wada Aman.
Why
Yahweh.
Yahweh.
In the name of Yahushua.
Name Yahweh.
Bless us.
Bless us.
And Yasharala.
And
And the school.
Yahweh.
Bless.
Bless.
Heal. Shield.
Cheer.
Protect.
Check.
Yasharala.
Yasharala.
In the name of Yahushua.
Name Yahweh.
Thank you.
Thank you.
So be it. I Isupk curses. Bless are you, Yahweh,
Bless you, Yahweh.
King of heaven and earth,
King of heaven.
and all things living. Yahweh,
Yahweh.
in the name of Yahushua,
Name Yahweh.
listen to us now,
So now.
right now.
Right now.
Say evil and curses,
Leave the curse.
and punishment and destruction
Bless the
to
destruction.
the heathen
Leave
that speak against us,
the curse.
like prophets,
Like prophets.
the teachers,
Teachers.
the princes,
Princes.
the priests,
Priests.
the Israelite brothers,
The Israelite
and
brothers.
the school.
And
Say evil and curses,
leave the curse.
and punishment and destruction
Bless the
to
destruction.
the heathen,
To the heathen.
and shake loose the treasure
And say, loose the
of the
treasure.
rich of Israel.
The rich of Israel.
That refuse to give to the
I
school.
refuse to give to the school.
Force their riches
Force their riches.
to enter into that sanctuary.
Go into that sanctuary.
Send evils and curses
Leave the curse.
and punishment and destruction
Punishment and
to
destruction.
the Edomites
The Edomites.
and the nations
The nation.
and their drug
Their
dealers,
drug
the
dealers.
court system,
Punishment.
the prison system,
Prison.
Planned Parenthood,
Planned Parenthood.
all the governments of our enemies,
All the governments of our
Amalek synagogues and armies,
Amalek and God's name.
Roman Catholic Church,
Roman Catholic
the
Church.
Pope,
Pope.
Islam,
Islam.
Christianity,
Christianity.
Egyptology,
Egyptology.
militia,
Militia.
Ku Klux Klan,
Ku Klux Klan.
Aryan Nation,
Aryan Nation.
skinheads,
Skinheads.
Basi Kamatazi, the
Hospitality.
gay movement,
Gay movement.
lesbian movement,
Lesbian.
spies,
Spies.
workers of witchcraft,
Workers of witchcraft.
Nassau Space Movement,
National Space Force.
Army,
Army.
Navy,
Navy.
Air Force,
Air Force.
Marines,
Marines.
Wall Street,
Wall.
open up the internet,
Open up the
and
internet.
the airways,
And the
cable access channels,
cable access.
and the radio channels.
And the radio.
Convict the spirit
Convict the
of
spirit.
any of thy people
Many of
that
that
seek to stop us
that seek to
and
stop.
bring swift destruction
And bring swift
to
destruction.
all the heathen
Only
that stand in the way,
stand in the way.
try to stop us
Try to stop
from broadcasting your word
Well, that's no problem.
throughout the planet Earth.
Throughout the planet.
Let loose all the plagues,
Let loose all the plagues.
cause them to go to and fro
Those who go to it
from
from
the earth
the earth.
and consume them.
Consume
Let the plagues
the
take
plague.
the house of the thief
Take the house of the
and
thief.
the murderer
And murder.
and your house shot.
And house.
Michael and Gabriel,
Michael and
come
Gabriel.
down with the flying saucers
Down.
and punish all the heathens
Punish
that come up against us. As we speak thy word.
Want
Want it to be known by all. It is the angels that have done it. Want it to be spread to the media. Want the whole world. Want them to shake at thy coming. In the name of Yahushua. Thank you always. So be it. So, if it's turn, you shall be seated. O Son of Christ. You know, when you see what's going on with our people in the world, man, it's important to understand why these prayers are imperative. Just yesterday, I was looking online and we saw how, you know, when these sisters, these Instagram models, right? We're gonna get to the scriptures real quick. We're going to the book of 2 Chronicles, chapter 18. We left at verse 30 last week, so we're picking up at verse 31 this week. All right, 2 Chronicles, chapter 18 and 31. You know, a lot of our sisters, they go to Dubai, you know, so-called on vacation. It comes out that, you know, these Arabs are paying our sisters to do all type of filthy, disgusting thing under the sun, man, and eating their poop, you know, and it is disgusting, man. And this is what these heathen do to our people. And this is why you see in the book of Psalm, you know, David is praying, man, let these heathen be destroyed. And this is why the Isupk, we have these curses, man, because these heathen, they ought to destroy us. And we have to gather as a people, man, because they make our sisters do some disgusting thing, man. And our sisters need to definitely get in this school, like General Muhammad was saying the other day, man. You know, you need discretion, you need wisdom, so you don't behave like a dumb dog in these social media, in this world. All right, because that's exactly what they want you to do. All right, so we're picking up at 2 Chronicles, chapter 18, verse 31. Picking up from the Hebrew Bible. Kashan, let me get a KJV sword. Verse 31. Wayahaya Kara Awath Sharia Hara Ha Rakab Off Yahweh Shapat Waha Ma Amaran Malak Yasharala Awa'ah Wayasa Bawa I Layawa Tawad Laha Latam Waya Za'aiwa Ya Hawa Shapat Wa Yahawa Aizawa Waya Sayatam Alahayam Mama Nawa 32 Wayahaya Kara Awath Sharia Hara Ha Rakab Kaya La'a Hayaha Malak Yasharala Waya Shabawa Wa Yashabwa Ma'a Karayawa 33 Wa Ayash Mashak Bakwa Shaf Lata Mawa Wayad Af Malak Yasharala Bayan Dabayam Wabayan Hasharayan Waya Amar La Rakab Hapak Yadayak Yadka Waha Wa Taza Tanya Man Hama Kana Kaya Hakala Yaf Hakalayafya 34 Watha Aila Hamalakma Bayawam Hahawa'a Wamalak Yasharala Hayaha
Ma'ai Mayad Ba Mara Kaba Nakat Aram Aid Hamaram Wayamath La'aid Ba'awa Ha Shamash 19:1 Wayashab Yahweh Shapath Malak Yahawada Al Bayathawa Bashalom, so like it. La Yerushalayim, verse 2. Waya Tazar Al Panyawa Yahawa Ban Kananya Hakazar Wa Ya'amar Al Hamalak Yahweh Shapat Hala Rashai La'izar Wala Shanaya Yahweh Ta'ahab Waba Zaaf Ailayak Quatazak Malapanya Yahweh, verse 3. Abal Da Barayam Kawabayam Namatazawa I Mak Kaya Ba'ai Raf Ha Sharawaf Man Ha Arataza Waha Kaya Nawath Lababak La Darash Ha Alahayam.
That was the last verse, wasn't it? Sorry, can I get another one? Yeah, the red. Give me the red one. We in 2 Chronicles chapter 18, and we're starting at verse 31. And it came to pass when the captains of the chariots saw Jehoshaphat that they said, "It is the king of Israel." Therefore they compassed about him to fight. But Jehoshaphat cried out, and the Most High helped him, and the power moved them to depart from him. 32. For it came to pass that when the captains of the chariots perceived that it was not the king of Israel, they turned back again from pursuing him. Remember, in the earlier verses, the king of Israel, Jehoshaphat, was the king of Judah. Remember, Israel was divided into two kingdoms. Till this day, this is why the Isupk exists, to do the mission that Christ ordered his disciples to do, which is to gather the 12 tribes of the lost sheep of Israel together into one state. So it was Ahab that the king of Judah disguised him as. So they thought that he was Ahab, but it was not Ahab, which was the king of Israel. So over here, it's talking about the king of Judah, which is Jehoshaphat, and the king of Israel, which is Ahab. All right. For it came to pass that when the captains of the chariots perceived that he was not the king of Israel, they perceived he wasn't Ahab, it's Jehoshaphat, right? Because he disguised himself. He's dressing like he's the king of Israel, but he wasn't. That's the king of Judah. And 33. And a certain man drew a bow at a venture and smote the king of Israel between the joints of the harness. Therefore he said to his chariot man, "Turn thy hand that thou mayest carry me out of the host, for I am wounded." So even though he was in disguise, he got hurt. Not the king of Judah, however, who you would have think that they would have got him because he's dressing as the king of Israel, right?
And that's what you get for being a wicked king in Israel. 34, and the battle increased that day. Howbeit the king of Israel stayed himself up in his chariot against the Syrians until the even. And about the time of the sun going down, he died. Remember in earlier verses, the king of Israel, he did not want to go to the Lord's prophets because he's like, man, every time I go to these, this man, he always prophesied evil against me. I don't like him. Yeah, that's right. You know what I'm saying? I don't like these prophets in the Isupk. They're always prophesying evil against me. You better listen to the man of the Isupk. You better listen to the man of the Lord. All right, let's keep on going. Chapter 19 and 1. And Jehoshaphat, the king of Judah, returned to his house in peace to Jerusalem. And Jehoshaphat, the king of Judah. You see the difference? King of Israel, king of Judah, but same nation. All right. Verse 2. And Jehu, the son of Hanani, the seer, went out to meet him and said to King Jehoshaphat, shouldest thou help the ungodly and love them that hate the Most High? All right, because Jehoshaphat, he was getting with Ahab to go to war with him. And that's what the seer said to him. All right. That's why in the Isupk, what do Commanding General Yohana said? Baratazar. Based on what I just said right now, the king of Judah, he got together with the king of Israel. Right? Remember, in the earlier verses, this is why history is very important. They were going against the house of David. Right? After David died, Solomon died, they kept on going against the house of David. Now, why is this important? That the king of Judah, that's right, Jehoshaphat, he was getting with Ahab to go to battle with him. And I'm going to read this again, and I want to hear an answer for you. And Jehoshaphat, the son of Nahi, the seer, went out to meet him and said to King Jehoshaphat, it's a question, shouldest thou help the ungodly and love them that hate the Most High? What do Commanding General Yohana said? And in the Isupk, we say this every time we go out.
This is when Jehoshaphat when they go meet with one of the seers?
Yeah, but he's talking about the question the seer asked him. Shouldest thou help the ungodly and love them that hate the Lord? What you got, Makwash?
I was going to say, it definitely should, because the Lord loves his children. You know what I'm saying? Some of them just lords. That's why Commander Johnny tells all camps to get together in this one body underneath Christ. You understand? No matter what you believe, what you're doing.
Right, that's the other side of the coin. But here he's checking him. He's really checking him. Like, should you go to these, these people that hate God? These people hate God, and you're gonna help them?
Oh, but Slot, you say.
What do we say in the Isupk? We say something crucial in the Isupk.
Well,
against people that says that you can molest children, people that say you can have a white woman as a wife, a concubine, and never went to war with no heathen.
Pretty much we'll see what happens.
I'll give it to you. We are not associated.
Okay.
We don't associate ourselves with no other camps because they are ungodly. If they were not ungodly, they would have been in this body, which is the other side of that coin. That's why Commanding General Yohana said for all camps to gather together in this one body. So we're not going to go to war with an enemy of ours who's dividing the flock, which is what Jehoshaphat did. He went with King Ahab, which was a evil king. This is why he hated the prophets of the Most High. They say every time I go to these prophets, they got something negative to say, man. They prophesy evil against me. Every time I'm in the street, the Isupk is prophesying evil, saying that we should not have sex with 13-year-old girls. We are not associated with any other Israelite group. All right. Verse 3. Nevertheless, there are good things found in thee. In that thou hast taken, and that's what proved you that he was checking him really for getting with King Ahab. So nevertheless, there are good things found in thee because he was a righteous brother. He took out all the idols. When you read in the earlier verses, he took out all the idols in Israel. He walked after the path of his father, which is what Commanding General Yohana does. He walked after the path of the 7 heads who established this truth since 1969, and he has endured. All right. Let's keep on going. Nevertheless, there are good things found in thee, in that thou hast taken away the groves out of the land, and hast prepared thy heart to seek the power. Verse 4 and oh, that was it. Verse 4 in the Hebrew, chapter 19. Wayashab Yahweh Shaphat Bayara Washa Shalom Wayashab Waya Taza'a Ba'ain Maba'ara Shabai Aid Hara Aparium Waya Shayabam Waya Shayabam Al Yahweh Alahaya Abawa Thayam. Verse 5. Waya I Mad Shapathium Ba'arataza Bakal I Raya Yahawada Haba Kazara Waf La Ayara Wa Ayara. Verse 6. Waya Amal Al Ha Shapathium Ra'awa Ma Atham I Shayam Kaya La Tashapakwa Kaya La Yahweh Wa I Makam But Ba Dabar Ma Shapath. Verse 7. Wa I Ta'a Yahaya Pakad Yahweh I Layakam Shamaron Shamarawa Wa I Shawa Kaya Ayan Ain Yahweh Alaha Yanawa Wa I Walaha Wa Ma Sha'a Panyam Wa Ma Kwak Shakab. Verse 8. Wagam Kaya Ra Wa Ka Yerushalayim Ha'ai Mayad Yahweh Shapat Man Hala Wayam Ha Loyam Waha Kahanyam Wama Ra Shaya Ha Abawath La Yasharala Lama Shapat Yahweh Wala Rayab Waya Shabawa Wa Ya Rashalam. Verse 9. Waya Tazawa I Yaham La Amar Kaha Tha I Shawan Baya Ra'ath Yahweh Ba'a Ma Wana Wa Bala Bab Shalom Wakal. Verse 10. Wakal Tuada Ra Yab Ashar Yabawa I Layakam Ma'a Kayakam Haya Shabayam Ba'ai Rayaham Bayan Dam Ladam Bayan Tharara Lama Tazawa Laka Kwayam Wa Lamasha Pathyam Wa Haza Harath Thum Atham Wala'a Ya Ashamua La Yahweh Waha Yaha Quatazak I Layakam Wa'il A Yakam Kaha Ta'ai Shawan Wala'a Ta Shamawa. Verse 4, chapter 19, verse 4. And Jehoshaphat dwelt at Jerusalem, and he went out again to the people from Beersheba to Mount Ephraim, and brought them back unto the most high power of their fathers. Verse 5. And he set judges in the land throughout all the fenced cities of Judah, city by city, and said to the judges, take heed what ye do, for ye judge not for men, but for the Most High, who is with you in the judgment. Verse 7. Wherefore now let the fear of the Most High be upon you. So like the heat is on. The heat. Can you check for me? So the fuego in here. Wherefore now let the fear of the Most High be upon you. Take heed and do it. For there is no iniquity with the Most High our power, nor respect of person, nor taking of gifts. Verse 8 is all. Okay. Could put the L on. Moreover, in Jerusalem, the Jehoshaphat did of the Levites and of the priests and of the chief of the fathers of Israel for the judgment of the Most High and for controversies when they returned to Jerusalem. Verse 9, and he charged them, saying, thus shall ye do in the fear of the Most High, faithful and with a perfect heart. All right, so basically it's him establishing order, establishing the government and judges, not for respect of a person, not based on your status, not based on who you are or who your father is, but according to the law, statutes, and commandments of the Most High. All right, and this is how we judge in the Isupk. You don't care if you're a celebrity, if you're a Boyz II Men, if you're a Jay-Z, if you're Kodak, we don't care who you are. Baba Kashab, I'll take ginger one. The water. You could put it in this. You have to use another one. All right. And verse 10. And what cause soever shall come to you or your brethren that dwell in their cities, between blood and blood, between law and commandment, statutes and judgment. This is what I just said. Ye shall even warn them that they trespass not against the Most High. All right. The laws that we have in the Isupk is to protect us as a people. This is not things that we made up. We didn't make up these laws. This is what was passed down to us. All right. These laws were passed down to us, and this is how we rule. This is our constitution. Like the United States, they have their constitution. All nations on the earth that have their constitution. In the Isupk, our constitution is the Bible. It is the law, statutes, and commandments of the Most High. This is how we rule our nation. All right. Verse 10, the middle of verse 10, ye shall even warn them that they trespass not against the Most High, and so wrath come upon you and upon your brethren. This do, and ye shall not trespass. All right, do not trespass the Lord's statutes and commandments of the Most High. Verse 11 in the Hebrew, we still in 2 Chronicles chapter 19. Waha Naha Amara Yahweh Kawan Hara Ash I Layakam Lakal Da Dabar Yahweh Waza Ba Dayahweh Bun Yashma'ila Ha Na Gayad Laba Yaf Yahawada Lakal Dabar Hamalak Shatarium Hala Wayam Lapanya Kum Kaza Kwawa Wa Ai Shawa Wa Yahaya Yahweh, Ein, Hatawab, chapter 20, verse 1. Wayahaya, Akara Yakan, Hakara Yakan. So like, can you text me that Baba Kushal brought this up? 2 Chronicles 20 and 1 and put Hakara Yakan. Baba Kushal. Or you can put second word in verse 1. Ba awa, ba naya, ma wa'ab, wa banya, I mawan, wa I maham, maha I mawanyam, I ya hawashapat, lamala kama. Verse 2, Waya Ba'awa, Waya Gayadwa, La Yahawa Shapat, La Amar, Ba'a Ay Layad, Ay Layak, Ha Mawan, Ram Ma'ay Bar, Layam, Ma'aram, Wa Hanam, Baka Tazawan, Tamar, Haya'a, Ayyan, Gadaya, verse 3, Wayara'a, Wa'athan, Yahawa Shapath, Af, Gana Yawa, Ladara Rash, La Yahawa, Waya Kwara'a, Tazawam, Ail, Kal, Yahawada, verse 4, Waya Kwabata Zawa, Yahawada, Laba Kwash, Maya, Ma Yahawa, Gum, Makal, I Raya, Yahawada, Ba'awa, Laba Kwash, Af, Yahawa, verse 5, Waya Ain Mad, Yahawa Shapat, Shabbat, Bakwa Hall, Yahawada, Waya Ra Washalam, Babayaf, Yahawah, Lapanya, Haka Tazar, Hakadasha, verse 6, verse 6, the last verse. Waya Amar, Yahweh, Allah Haya, Abba Thayan wa Hala'a, Atha Hawa'a, Allah Hayam, Basha Mayam, Wa Atha, Mawasha, Bakal, Mamalakwath, Tawada, Haga Wayam, Wabayadka, Kaf, Waga Barwara, Wa'ayan, Aymad, Laha Thayat Tazah. Right? Chapter 19, verse 11. And behold, Amariah, the chief priest, is over you in all matters of the Most High, and Zebadiah, the son of Ishmael, the ruler of the house of Judah, for all the king's matters. Also the Levites shall be officers before you. Deal courageously, and the Lord shall be with the good. Verse 20. And it came to pass after this also, that the children of Moab and the children of Ammon, and with them other beside the Ammonites, came against Jehoshaphat to battle. Verse 2. Then there came some that told Jehoshaphat, saying, There cometh a great multitude. against thee from beyond the sea, on this side Syria, and behold, they be in Hazazon Tamar, which is Engedi. Verse 3, and Jehoshaphat feared and set himself to seek the Most High, and proclaim a fast throughout all Judah. Verse 4, and Judah gathered themselves together to ask help of the Most High. Even out of all the cities of Judah, they came to seek the Most High. And this is important for us to know as Israelites. We don't rely on, our weapons, right? We train, but our power is from the Lord. We always have to remember that. Always have to remember that our power is from the Most High. This is why here in the Isupk we have no fear, because we rely on the Lord. We don't care about how many missiles America have. We don't care about their weapons. They have weapons that we can't even imagine. They got sound weapons that they put out here. All you got to do, you got to run with your hand on your ears. Right? We don't care about the weapons of our enemies, because why? We rely on the Most High power. And we know that the Most High could destroy our enemies in a fraction of a second. All right? So our fear goes to the Most High. Verse 6. Verse 5, and Jehoshaphat stood in the congregation of Judah and Jerusalem in the house of the Most High before the new court. Verse 6, and said, O Most High power of our fathers, are not thou power in heaven, and rulest not thou over all the kingdoms of the heathen? And in thy hand is there not power and might, so that none is able to withstand thee? All right, that was the last verse, right? All right, in the Hebrew, we're picking up at verse 7. 7 to 13. To water. Hala'ah after Alahayanawa Hawa Rashath Af Yashabaya Ha Arataza Hazaaf Malapanya Ai Mak Yasharala Watha Tana Lazarai Abba Raham Ahabak La'ai Walam, verse 8, Waya Shabwa Baha Waya Banwa Lak Baha Makwadash La Shamak La'amar, verse 9, Thaba Wa'a Ai Layanwa Ra'aiha Karab Shapawath Wadabal Wara'ai Na'ai Madaha Lapanya Habayath Hazaa Wala Panyak La Panyaka Kaya Shamak Bayath Hazaa Wa Nazaiqua Alayak Matazara Tanwa Watha Shamai Watha Wa Shayai, verse 10, Wa'aitha'a Hana Banya Ai Mawan Wa Ma Wa'ab Wa Ma'wa'aba Wa Hara Sha'ai Yara Asha La'a Natata'a La Yasharala La Wa'a Baba'am Ma'arataza Tazariyam Kaya Saran Ma'ai Layaham Wala'a Ha Shama Yadwam, verse 11, Waha Naha Ham Gama Layam I Layanwa Laba Awa Lagara Shanwa Mayara Shathak Ashar Hawara Shatanwa, verse 12, Alahayanawa, Alaha Tashapat, Kaya, Ayan, Banwa, Kaka, Lapanya, Haha Mawan, Harab, Haza'a, Haba'a, I Layanwa, Wa'a Nakanwa, La'a, Nadai Maha Na'ai Sha'a Kaya, I Layak, I Yanwa, verse 13, last verse, Wakal Yahawada, I Madiam, Lapanya Yahawah, Gum, Tapam, Na Shayaham, Waba Nayam, verse 13 was the last verse. Second Chronicles 20:7. Art not thou our power, who did drive out the inhabitants of this land before thy people Israel, and givest it to the seed of Abraham, thy friend, forever? And they, verse 8, and they dwell therein, and have built thee a sanctuary therein for thy name, saying, verse 9, if when evil cometh upon us as the sword, judgment, or pestilence, or famine, we stand before this house and in thy presence, for thy name is in this house, and cry unto thee in our affliction, then thou wilt hear and help. Verse 10, and now behold, the children of Ammon and Moab and Mount Seir, whom thou wouldest not let Israel invade when they came out of the land of Egypt, but they turned from them and destroyed them not. Verse 11, behold, I say not how they reward us to come to cast us out of thy possession. And this is Jehoshaphat praying to the Lord, right? Because these armies are coming to fight us, to destroy us. And this is important to see that we did not bother these people. Like it says in verse 10. We didn't go and destroy them, but they coming over here to destroy us. This is how they reward us. This is how the heathen will always reward us. They will always seek to stop us. They will always seek to destroy us. They will never want us to rule over them. Right? They're not going to give their power. They're not going to say, okay, you blacks, you could have the power now. It's never going to happen. All right? We're going to take that power by force under our king, Yahushua. And we got to know that these people will always seek to destroy us. They will always seek to reward us evil, even when we don't even bother them. We don't go out trying to see how we could destroy Chinese people, Japanese people, white people, Arabs. We don't think like that. But that's how they think. How could we destroy these Negroes? How could we keep them at the bottom? That's how they think. We don't think like that as a people. Middle of verse 10. One thou wouldest not let Israel invade when they came out of the land of Egypt, but they turned from them and destroyed them not. Verse 11. Behold, I say, how they reward us to come to cast us out of thy possession, which thou hast given us to inherit. Verse 12. O our power, wilt thou not judge them? For we have no might against this great company that cometh against us, neither know we what to do, but our eyes are upon thee. Verse 13. And all Judah stood before the Most High with their little ones, their wives, and their children. I'll keep reading from.
That verse right there, right? The last couple verses, like 10 through 12. We can precept that with the I believe the lesson, like Psalms or something like that, where it says we're gonna give them reward twice, we're gonna reward them twice as much as they rewarded us.
All right. In this context, what he is saying is that, look, we didn't bother these people, and they are rewarding us with evil.
Right.
So this is them rewarding us with evil. This is them coming to destroy us. This is why it says in verse 12, in verse 11, it says, behold, I say how they reward us to come to cast us out of that possession. So that's them rewarding us, trying to cast us out of the possession that the Most High give us.
Right.
It's not us rewarding them with evil, but it's him praying to judge these nations because they coming to destroy us. You know what I'm saying? That's the context of this prayer right here that Jehoshaphat is doing to the Most High. All right? God, no sweat. Verse 14 in the Hebrew, and we're going to see how the Most High judge them. All right? Because when we are serving the Most High will be with us. All right? And we see that all throughout the scriptures. It don't matter how mighty and powerful the nations that are coming against us are. It don't matter. As you see, Jehoshaphat said, we don't have no power to fight them. You know, as far as weapons go, just like in the Isupk, we don't have no missiles to fight our oppressors.
Right.
We don't have the bombs, the nuclear bombs they have. But guess what? We know we have a power that could destroy them. And that's what we rest on. And we say that prayer every day before we go to camp. For we rest on thee to go against this multitude. We go against kingdoms in the Isupk with no nuclear weapon, with no missiles. We don't even take a handgun. Right. You know what I'm saying? This is our sword right here. This is our sword, the word of the Most High, and they fear us for it, because that word could gather all the 12 tribes of Israel. And this is what the nations fear. They don't want us to gather together, because us gathering together is more powerful than a nuclear weapon. Right. It's more powerful than any missiles our oppressors have created. You have something to say, sis?
I would say, the time is short, right?
The time is short. Yeah, Revelation, I believe Revelation 19 tells you that. The devil knows, but he have a short time. The time is short. And that's what the Isupk is making sure that their time gets shorter and shorter every day by gathering together. So we're going to continue 2 Chronicles 20 and 14 in the Hebrew. So like it. Waya ka za ya'al ban zakar Yahweh ban yaha. So like it. Banaya ban ya'ai ya'al ban Mathanya ha lawyer man banya asap hayatha I layan rock Yahweh bathawak hakwaha. Verse 15, waya amar hakwa shayawa kal Yahweh waya shabya Yarashalam Waha Malak Yaha wa Shapat Kaha Amar Yahweh Lakam Atham Al Thayara Awa Wa'al Thaka Thawa Mapanya Haha Mawan Harab Hazaha Kaya La'a Lakam Hamalakma Kaya La'ala Hayam Makar. Verse 16, Makar Radawa Yaham Hanam Layam Bama Laha Hatazayataza Wama taza atham basawak Hanakal, Panya, Madabar, Yara Wa'al, 17, La'a, Lakam, Laha, Lakam, Baza'af, Ha, Tayataza, Bawa, I Madawa, Wa Ra Awa Af. Yashawa Aif Yahweh I Makam Yahweh Waya Rashalam Al Taya Rawa Wa'al Takafwa Makara Tazawa Lapanyaham Wa Yahweh I Makam, verse 18, Wayakwad Yahawashapath Apayam Arataza Wakal Yahawada Wayashabia Ra Yashabia Yarashalam Napawa Lapanya Yahweh Laha Shatha Kawaf La Yahweh, 19, Wayakwa Mawa, Allah Wayam, A Loyam, Man, Banya, Hakwa Ha Thayam, Waman, Banya, Hakwa Ra Kayam, Lahalala, La Yahweh, Alahaya, Yasharala, Bakwawa, Gadawa, Lama Ailaha, 20, Tawada Waya, Shakayamwa, Babakwa, Waya Tazawa, Lama Daba, Takwa Wa'ai, Waba Tazatham, I Mad Yahweh Shapat Waya Amar Shama'ai Wanya Yahweh Waya Shabaya Yarashalam Ha Ma Yanwa Ba Yahweh Alahaya Kam Watha Amanwa Ha Amayanwa Bana Ba Ya Ayawa Waha Tazala Yakawa. 2021 is the next set. So verse 14. Then upon Jahaziel, the son of Zechariah, the son of Benaiah, the son of Jehiel, the son of Mathaniah, a Levite of the son of Asaph, came the Spirit of the Most High in the midst of the congregation. Verse 15, and he said, hearken ye, all Judah, and ye inhabitants of Jerusalem, and thou King Jehoshaphat, thus said the Most High unto you, be not afraid nor dismayed by reason of this great multitude, for the battle is not yours, but God's. All right? This battle, Scripture says, vengeance is of the Lord. The Most High is the one that's going to destroy our enemies. When Christ returns, then Christ will definitely delegate us to go hunt them. But the destruction is going to happen from the hand of the Most High and Christ themselves. We got to do some hunting. But the destruction is going to come before that. It's going to come in the midst of World War III. When they're going to think, like it says in 2nd Ezra, I believe the 12th chapter, when the sons of the Most High is declared in the heavens with the angels, they're gonna think to fight against, you know, the powers of the hosts of the Lord.
Right.
That's why they got the Space Force. They preparing for a battle. You was gonna say something, Bakwash?
I was gonna say, the scripture said the Lord's gonna use this as his battle axe. You know?
As his battle axe.
That's it.
Exactly. You know what I'm saying? The Lord know what he's doing. He knows exactly how he's gonna use us. You don't need no weapons. You are the Lord's weapon. You think you need missiles. The Lord just wants you. You're the missile.
Right.
Parataza is the missile.
Yeah, right.
You know what I'm saying? Shamgar, goddamn, Shamgar is a nuclear bomb. You know what I'm saying? That's a nuclear bomb right there. He don't need no weapon. He is the weapon.
Yeah, right.
You know what I'm saying? Where we at? 15? Verse 16. Tomorrow go ye down against them. Behold, they come up by the cliff of Ziz. So Moses say, go ye down against them. I know you don't have no missiles. Don't be afraid of them. The battle is not yours. All right? They came down by the cliff of Ziz, and ye shall find them at the end of the brook before the wilderness of Jeruel. Verse 17. Ye shall not need to fight in this battle. You hear the Most High. The Most High is gangster. You know what I'm saying? Ain't no gangster than the Most High. Listen to this. Verse 17. Ye shall not need to fight in this battle. Set yourselves, stand ye still, and see the salvation of the Most High with you. O Judah and Jerusalem, fear not, nor be dismayed. Tomorrow go out against them, for the Lord will be with you. Verse 18. And Jehoshaphat bowed his head with his face to the ground, and all Judah and the inhabitants of Jerusalem fell before the Most High, worshiping the Most High. Verse 19. And the Levites of the children of Kohathites and the children of Korites stood up to praise the Most High power of Israel with a loud voice on high. Verse 20. And they rose early in the morning and went forth into the wilderness of Tekoa. And as they went forth, Jehoshaphat stood and said, Hear me, O Judah, and ye inhabitants of Jerusalem, believe in the Most High power. So shall ye be established. Believe his prophets. So shall ye prosper. All right, now we're going to see what happens to our enemies who are coming against us when we get back into the English. We're going 2 Chronicles 20 and 21 in the Hebrew. Waya wa'aitaza al ha'aim waya'ai man masha rarayam la Yahweh wa ma hala layam laha da rath quadash. This is the word that in the Christian church, quadash, holy. They want to tell you that holy is when your grandmama is catching an orgasm in the church. Right? All it means is separateness. All right, let's keep on going. Ba taza'af lapanya ha kala wataza wa amoryam hawa dawa la Yahweh kaya la I walam ka sadwa 22 wa ba'if ha kawa ba rana wa tha hala Nathan Yahweh ma'ara bayam al banya I mawan ma wa abba Wahara Sha'ai Yara Haba Ayam La Yahawada Waya Na Gapawa 23 Waya I Madwa Banya I Mawan Wa Ma'aba Al Yashabia Hara Sha'ai Yara Laha Karayam, Walaha Shamayad, Wa Kakalawatam, Baya Ra Shabaya, Sha'iraya, Aizawa, Ayash, Bara Aihawa, Lamasha Kayaf, 24, Wayaha Wada, La Wa Yahawada, Ba'a Ail, Hamataza Paha, Lama Daba, La Madaba, Waya Panwa Al, Haha Mawan, Wahanam, Pagarayam, Napa Layam, Arataza, Wa'ayan, Hala Yatha, 25, Wa'aba'a, Yahawashapat, Wa'aman, Labaza, Af, Shalalam, Waya Matazahawa, Baham, Larab, Wara Kawash, Wapagarayam, Wakalia, Kama Dawaf, Wayana Tazalawa, Laham, La'ayan, Masha'a, Waya Hayawa, Yamayam, Shala Washa, Ba Zazayam, Af, Shalal, Kaya, Rabah, Hawa'a, 26, Waba Yawam, Hara Ba'aya, Nakwa Ha Lun, La'aimak, Baraka'a, Kaya, Sham, Barakawa, Af, Yahweh, Al, Kun, Kwara, Af, Sham, Hama, Kwawam, Haha, Wa'a, Aimak, Barakaha, Aid, Hayawam, 27, Waya Shabwa, Ka, Ayash, Yahawada, Waya Ra, Wa Yerushalayim, Waya Hashapat, Bara Asham, Lashawab Al, Yerushalayim, Bashama Kaha, Kaya, Shama Kam, Yahweh, Ma'a Waya Bayam. 21, 2 Chronicles chapter 20, verse 21. And when he had consulted with the people, he appointed singers unto the Most High, and that should praise the beauty of holiness as they went out before the army, and to say, praise the Most High, for his mercy endureth forever. So you see, when we went to battles, we were singing. That shows you the songs in the scriptures is not the song that the Christian church is singing today. The Christian church is singing songs that tells you to mix with your enemies, hold hand to hand. We go into war, we're singing separateness, song of separateness, that we are separate. How are you going to war singing? Because what we are singing is Babylon is fallen. What we are singing is the Lord is a man of war, which is a song, by the way, in Exodus chapter 15, verse 3. That is a song where he's saying the Lord is a man of war. All right? This is not a song saying the Lord is bringing what they say in the Christian church. I don't know, cookies and and honey and cotton candy. Go ahead.
Marshmallow.
And marshmallow. You know what I'm saying? And whipped cream. This is not that type of song going on. All right, this is a song where we go into battle. All right, go ahead, sis. And you're gonna see what happens further. All right, so to show you that the songs in your Christian church that your mama is singing every goddamn day is not the song that it's talking about in the scriptures. Go ahead, sis.
When we rule the world in Israel, what's going to happen to Babylon? It's going to get destroyed and we're going to go back to Israel.
Yeah, Babylon is not going to exist when we are ruling. Because Babylon must fall in order for us to rule. In order for us to rule, Babylon, America, our enemies, they must fall. We cannot rule while they are still in power. All right? Yeah.
So it's going to be like Sodom and Gomorrah.
Oh, yeah.
Nobody can come over you. Like, remember when he said, his wife said, if you look back, you want to turn into a pillar of salt.
Right. Yeah, Babylon will be no more. This is when it talks about I got you, Paratazar.
No.
When it talks about in Revelation, it talks about I'm paraphrasing, the furnace of fire. I forgot how the Christian call it, you know, to tell you that it's hell. It's not hell. This is going to be Babylon. This is going to be thermonuclear war. All right? So Babylon, the lake of fire. That's what I was looking for. Babylon is going to be a lake of fire. All right? This is the destruction that's going to come based on thermonuclear war. And also our king, Yahushua, returning with the angels to destroy our enemies, to destroy the armies that's going to gather together to fight each other at first. And then when our king, Yahushua, comes, they're going to get together to fight the powers of heaven, all right, to fight the Most High, the Most High's host. All right?
The Most High is going to destroy them.
Destroy them, annihilate them.
He
All right?
is
Yeah, he is gangster. Give the sister a head. Yeah. The Most High is gangster. Go ahead, Paratazar.
Just to go back to when you was talking about the songs.
Right.
I noticed that with the Christian church, that they listen to the song, think they is at church. They only play the gospel songs,
Mm-hmm.
and they really think that they at church. And these is people, and I'm talking about all, you know, the people that just finished selling drugs to your sister.
Right.
They just go in and listen to some gospel music, and that, you know what I'm saying, cleanse their sins.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? That's
Right.
so that, you know, it's so strong that this Christian, that music, you know what I
Right.
mean? They really think they're doing good if they listen to gospel music.
Yeah, because like
it's like
no, go ahead, finish your thought.
no, it's like a compel.
Right.
Like they think they're literally doing good. They
Mhm.
literally think they're doing good just because they listen to that church. And meanwhile, when a prince and prophet comes along and say, hey, you need to stop doing what you're doing.
Right.
Now that's an issue. That's
Come.
an issue right there.
Come, because that Christian music, man, the gospel music is witchcraft. It puts you in a state of mind where you are literally having an orgasm.
Now, come.
That's the state of mind that he puts you. He puts you in a state of mind. You just, you know, like having a walking. You just walking with an orgasm. Put you in a state of weakness, right? Because you're not thinking about battling. When we sing the song, we're praising the Most High. We're talking about going to battle, and you're gonna see in the verses that follows. We're talking about destroying our enemies. We're not singing to have an orgasm, to hold hands with our enemies. We're singing so that we praise the Most High to destroy our enemies. It's two different spirit. All right. So yeah, that Christian music, like you say, is definitely witchcraft, man. Let's keep on going. Verse, what's that? 22. And when they began to sing and to praise, the Most High set ambushments against the children of Ammon. Look that word up for me, Baba Kasha. Ambushments. Give me that word. All right, so you could see what the Israelite School of Universal Practical Knowledge is saying. When we telling you the song that you are singing in the Christian church is making you have an orgasm and has nothing to do with the songs of the Bible. All right, we're gonna prove it to you right here in this verse right here. We'll read it again, and then Bakwash, you could read that definition for me. And when, all right, let me read it. And when they begin to sing and to praise, the Most High set ambushments against the children of Ammon, Moab, and Mount Seir. Read that definition for me, Bishop.
Ambushments, a positioning of soldiers in a concealed place in order to surprise attack an enemy.
All right? This is the result of us singing and praising to the Most High. This is the result of it. So what are you singing in the Christian church? What does that have to do with the songs of the Bible? What does that have to do with it? It has nothing to do with it.
Right.
You're just in here with a bunch of pedophiles having an orgasm. That's what you're doing.
Right.
All right? Throw out for that question. All right? Which were come against Judah, and they were smitten. This is the result of singing to the Most High. So you know our songs is not your songs. Right. This is why in the Isupk we sing for Hebrew Academy. Babylon is falling to rise no more. Babylon is falling. Right? We're not having an orgasm. We're singing to go to war with Babylon. We're singing to go to war with our enemies. We praise the Most High like that. All right? Verse 23. For the children of Ammon and Moab stood up against the inhabitants of Mount Seir early to slay and destroy them. You see the difference, you Christian? You see the difference? We stood against our enemies to slay them. You know we're not singing the same song.
That's right.
We should know that. This is biblical. Now show me your orgasm in the Bible. You can't show it to me. Let's keep on going. And when they had made an end of the inhabitants of Seir, everyone helped to destroy another. Verse 24. And when Judah came toward the watchtower in the wilderness, they looked unto the multitude, and behold, they were dead bodies falling to the earth, and none escaped. None of our enemies escaped. This is the result of praising the Most High. None of our enemies escape. And you can't even spar your children from the pedophile in the church with your songs. The song you're singing is what causing your children to get molested by these pedophiles in the church.
Right.
Verse 25. And when Jehoshaphat and his people came to take away the spoil of them, they found among them in abundance both riches with the dead bodies and precious jewels. They found riches with the dead bodies, Bakwash. They had probably some gold chain on. Give me that. You know what I'm saying? Yes, spoils of war. And precious jewels, which they stripped off from themselves. They stripped them off. Give me that. You don't need that no more. You dead. You know, I know them Brooklyn brothers, man. Bakwash, you can't wait for that day. Give me that chain, Esau. You know, you can't wait for that day. You don't need that no more. More than they could carry away. And there were 3 days in gathering of the spoil. It was so much. Bakwash, you can't carry all of that. Leave some back, Bakwash. You come back for more. Verse 26. And on the 4th day, that they assembled themselves in the valley of Barakah. For there they blessed the Most High. Therefore, the name of the same place was called the Valley of Barakah unto this day. 27. Then they returned every man of Judah and Jerusalem, and Jehoshaphat in the forefront of them, to go again to Jerusalem with joy, for the Lord had made them to rejoice over their enemies. The Lord made us to rejoice over our enemies. But in the Christian church, you want to join hand to hand with your enemies. All right? Because there's 2 enemies. You have 2 enemies. The enemies that Christ was speaking about for you to love is not the other nations. Right. As you can see, there's context. The enemies that Christ was talking about to love, he's your own brother that owe you that $20, and you can't stand it. You can't stand your brother because he owe you $20, and it's been 8 years. Forget about that $20, but you want to go and join hand in hand with George Zimmerman.
Right.
You want to go hug the police officer who kills your brother,
Right.
who killed Bethlehem John, and I'm not exaggerating. You could pull up the videos right now. The enemy who killed your brother, you're gonna hug him.
Right.
But your brother that owe you $20 for 7 years, you hate him. We got the scriptures all confused. Right? You got to come to the Isupk to get edified.
Yeah, right.
Verse. Come, go ahead.
If I may, I have to go back to this, to the songs. Just remember in the 60s, they were singing the songs while they was getting hit in the head with bricks.
Right.
We shall overcome.
Right.
Not talking about we overcome, you know what I'm saying, what's going on. Like, they were just holding hands with their enemies. We shall overcome and get hit in the head with bricks.
Right. And not only that.
That's a gospel song.
Right. And not only that, it was the leaders, it was the people that were at a certain level in Black society that wanted to join hand in hand with the oppressor. Because they didn't want to go eat where the niggas were at. That's not where they wanted to eat.
Right.
You know? So they brainwash our people to go and get, hit upside the head, get bitten by dogs. For what? Just so they could go swim in the same pool as Becky. Not exaggerated. That's exactly what Martin Luther King said. He did not want to go swim with niggas.
He said he wanted to do the good movie theater.
Yeah. He wanted to go to the good movie theater. You don't want to go. You're a black man. You got money in America. You don't want to go where the niggas at. You go to the club and, excuse me, right? But you got Negroes that saying, man, there's too many Negroes in here. Like General Muhammad said one day, well, doesn't you being there, doesn't it make it like one more Negro in here? Our people are destroyed, man. We are destroyed. And we don't know it. And this is why the Christian church is dangerous, because a crackhead knows he's destroyed.
Right.
A crackhead knows he needs to stop.
Right.
He got a strong demon. Every time he hit that crack, he knows he should not be smoking that crack.
Right.
But you in that Christian church, you think, like Parathas, I was saying, you swear you're going to heaven. You know what I'm saying? You swear you're doing good.
Right.
You swear that orgasm you're having is the Spirit of the Lord.
Right.
Meanwhile, your children are getting molested in that church.
That's right.
Meanwhile, you just had an abortion 2 months ago. Man, we got works to do, Akim. We got work to do.
Yeah, that's right.
All right, verse 28 in the Hebrew. Which set is this?
That's the last set.
Last set, come.
Go now, verse 34.
28 to 34. To one. Wayaban, Yarashalam, Ba Naba Layam, Wa Baka Narawath, Waba Kataza Rawath Al Bayath Yahweh, verse 29, Wayahaya Pakad Allah Hayam Al Kal Mamala Kawaf Ha Ara Tazawaf Ba Shama'ain Kaya Nala Kam Yahweh Ain Ha Waya Baya Yashawala 30 Watha Shakwat Mala Kawaf Ya Hawashapat Wa Yanak Lawa Alahayawa Ma Sabah Yab 31 Waya Malak Ya Hawashapat Al Yahawada Ban Shala Shayam Waka Mash Shana Ba Malakawa Wa Ai Sharayam Waka Mash Shana'a Malak Baya Rawashalam Wa Sham Amawa I Zawaba Bath Shalakaya Wayalak Banarak Abba Yawat Asa Wala'a Sa Mamana La'ai Shawath Wa Yashar Ba'ai Yanya Yahweh 33 Ad Haba Mawath La'a Saran Wa'ai Wad Ha'ain La'a Haka Yanwa Lababam La'a Lahaya A Ba Thayaham 34 Wayatha Dabaria Yahawashapath Hara Shayanwa Hara Shanayam Waha Aka Runyam Hanam Katha Wadyam Bada Baria Yahawah Ban Kananiya Ashar Ha'ilaha Al Sapal Malakiya Yasharala 34 is the last verse. 20 was 27, right?
28.
Starting at 28. Second Chronicles chapter 20 verse 28. And they came to Jerusalem with psalteries and harps and trumpets unto the house of the Most High. 29. And the fear of the power was on all the kingdoms of those countries, when they had heard that the Most High fought against the enemies of Israel. All right. Now let's read that again, because that's what happened when we left out of Egypt. All the nation was like, man, these people, the Lord is with them. The Lord is with these people, because Egypt was the superpower. Egypt was America back then. All right. And when the Most High destroyed Egypt, all the nations knew the power of the Lord, which is exactly what he says in Romans the 9th chapter. Most High set, the Egyptians set Pharaoh up just to destroy them. In the same way, in the metaphor, he's setting Esau up just to destroy Esau.
Damn right.
Just to destroy our enemy, because the nations think Esau is invincible. And they're going to see. They're going to see the power of the Lord. And the fear, go ahead, sis.
Can I ask a question?
Sure.
So, Esau is against all Darcy nation, like the African.
Esau is against everybody, even himself. Even himself. They fighting this. You see, they always talk about black on black crime, right? Black on black crime happens because of the snares that they put in our neighborhood, because of the crack cocaine, because of brainwashing us. But they go, when they have white on white crime, World War I happened. World War II happened. Right now, we're seeing them destroying each other. You see with Ukraine and Russians fighting. All right. So they are vagabonds. They are a filthy, disgusting people. And today we don't see it because they are ruling over us. But these people, when they are threatened, they will kill their own father. They kill their father, their mother, and it happens today for life insurance money. Mm-hmm. These people are filthy, disgusting people. We just don't know it because they don't push that. They just push, Nicki Minaj on our children, and that's all we know. They push Jay-Z. Jay-Z's in the Illuminati. That's what they push in our head. These people are filthy, disgusting people. They are against everybody, even themselves. All right, that's why the scriptures tell you, if you don't know who the devil is, go ask the animals. Right? Go ask the birds, because they're against the birds too. The birds know that these people are the devil. All right? The lions and the monkey in the Bronx Zoo, they know. You see these monkeys, man, they're like, man, these white men got me in here. I should be in the jungle running around. Now I'm in here with all these damn humans. The monkeys in the Bronx Zoo know who the devil is. All right, so these people, they just are filthy, disgusting people. 29. And the fear of the power was on all the kingdoms of those countries when they had heard that the Most High fought against the enemies of Israel. Verse 30. So the realm of Jehoshaphat was quiet, for his power gave him rest round about. 31. And Jehoshaphat reigned over Judah. He was 35 years old when he began to reign. And he reigned 25 years in Jerusalem. And his mother's name was Azubah, the daughter of Shilhi. Verse 32. And he walked in the way of Asa his father, and departed not from it, doing that which was right in the sight of the Most High. And this is the theme of the scriptures, man. When we follow after the Most High God, man, he destroyed our enemies, and we are at rest. But when we don't, our enemies are over us. All right, 33. Howbeit the high places were not taken away, for as yet the people had not prepared their hearts unto the power of their fathers. 34 is the last verse. Verse 34. Now the rest of the acts of Jehoshaphat, first and last, behold, they are smitten. First and last, behold, they are written in the book of Jehu, the son of Hanani, who is mentioned in the book of the kings of Israel. All right. So next week we're gonna pick up from 2 Chronicles chapter 20, verse 35. With that, imagine up here. La Yasharala, which means to Israel. Again. Man, woman of Israel, Amajam, which means to stand. Saw Wapanya Hakwadam, which means turn and face the east. We are going to recite the Lord's Prayer in the Hebrew. Abanawa, Shabbat Shemayim, Kodash, Haya, Shamka, Yahweh, Malachovka, Laba'ah, Ratazaka, Haya, Aisha, Ba'arataza, Hawa, Haya, Bashamayim, Nathan, Lanawa, Lakam, Ka, Yawam, Wasalakna, Kawawakina, Hasalakna, Kawawakina, Wala'ah, Habayayna, Banasai one, Abba, Hawashayna, Mayan, Ra, Kaya, Laka, Hamalakwa, Wa'ala, Wa'atabaraf, La'ai Walamyam,
Amen. In the English, our Father, which art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. Yahweh, thy kingdom come, thy will be done, in earth as it is in heaven. Give us this day our daily bread, and forgive us our debts, as we forgive our debtors. And lead us not into temptation, but deliver us from evil. For thine is the kingdom, and the power, and the glory, forever. So be it. The power in the Hebrew. Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahushua, Baba Kasha, Shatanda Nawa, Hakak, Larapa'ah, Hamakala, Kamanawa, Hakak, Nata'ah, Hamakazarayim, Hakak, Lahakoyim, Amathim, Hakak, Arakawa, Hatama'ala, Nagarushan, Ba'ashem Yahushua, Bawala. In the English, Yahweh, in the name of Yahushua, please give us the power to heal all manner of sickness, all manner of disease, the power to cleanse the lepers, the power to raise the dead, the power against unclean spirits, to cast them out. In the name of Yahushua, thank you. So be it. Psalm 121 in the Hebrew. Asha'ah, Ayanya, Ahahoya, Ahayan, Yaba'ah, Isaiah Ma'ai, Yahweh, Aisha, Shamayam, Wa'arataza, Ayatan, Yamawak, Magaka, Ayanawan, Shamaka, Hanala'ah, Yanawan, Wana'ah, Yayashan, Shabamok, Yasharala, Yahweh, Shamaka, Yahweh, Nazaka, Ayah, Yamyan, Yawamam, Hashamash, La'ah, Yakaka, Wayarak, Balayala, Yahweh, Yashamaka, Makorad, Yashamar, Afna Pashra, Yahweh, Yashamar, Azahaka, Wabawaka, I will love. I will lift up my eyes into the hill. From whence cometh my help? My help cometh from Yahweh, which made heaven and earth. He will not suffer thy foot to be moved. He that keepeth thee will not slumber. Behold, he that keepeth Israel shall neither slumber nor sleep. Yahweh is thy keeper. Yahweh is thy shade upon thy right hand. The sun shall not smite thee by day, nor the moon by night. Yahweh shall preserve thee from all evil. He shall preserve thy soul. Yahweh shall preserve thy going out and thy coming in from this time forth and even forevermore. So maybe three in the Hebrew. Alahayim, Al-Damayelaka, Al-Takarash, Al-Tashakwa, Al-Hayahana, Al-Yabyaka, Yahama Yawan, Wamashana Yeka, Nasha'awa, Ra'ash, Al-Aimaka, Ya'ira Yamwa, Sawad, Wayata Ya'aita Sawad, Altaza Pawanyaka, Amarwa, Nakawa, Wanakakina, Magoya, Wala'a, Yasakar, Sham Yasharana, Iwad, Kaya, Nawa'aita Sawad, La, Yakadwa, Ayaka, Yakarafwa, Ahoya, Adawan, Wayashamaya Ilayum, Mawa'aba, Wahagoya, Gabor, Wa'aimawan, Wa'aimalak, Halashak, Ayeshabia, Hazawar, Ashawa, Nalawak, Imam, Hayawa, Zawad, Labanya Lawak, Salah, Aishalaham, Hamadia, Hasayasara'a, Hayabia, Banakar, Kwayashwan, Nashamadwa, Ba'ayanda Ara, Hayawa, Naman, La'adama, Shayatamwa, Nadayamawa, Ha'ira, Wakaza'aba, Wakazabak, Wakatazamana, Hanasayakamwa, Ashab, Amarwa, Nayarasha, Nalawa, Na'awa, Alahayam, Alahaya, Shayatamwa, Kagogala, Squash. Upon your recall. Upon your recall. Ash. Taba Ira ya Ira. Wakala Abba. Tala A. Hoya. Kantara Dapma. Basa Iraka. Wabasa Wapa. Taba Alam. Wala A. Panya Hum. Wala One. Waya Bukwasha. Shumka. Yahweh. Yabashwa. Waya Ba'awa. I. Waya Kapawa. Waya Abadwa. Waya the Ira. Kaya. After. Shumka. Yahweh. The Baka. Ayawan. I'll call Ha Arataza. Keep not thy silence, O my power. Hold not thy peace. And be not still. O my power. For lo, thy enemies make it tumult. And they that hate thee have lifted up their head. They have taken crafty counsel against our people. And consulted against the hidden one. They have said, come and let us cut them off from being a nation. That the name of Israel may be no more in remembrance. For they have consulted together with one consent. They are confederate against me. The tabernacles of Edom and the Ishmaelites of Moab and the Hagarene, the Baal and Ammon and Amalek, the Philistines, with the inhabitants of Tyre, Gabal, and Ammon, and Amalek, the Philistines, the inhabitants of Tyre. Assault also is joined with them. They have opened the children of Lot. Salah, do unto them as unto the Midianites, as to Sisera, as to Jabez, at the brook of Kison, which perished at Endor. They became as dung for the earth. Make their numbers like Orad. And like Zahab, yea, all their princes, as Sabbath, and as Almuda. Alexa, be quiet.
Otherwise, I can help you with specific questions.
Alexa, silence. At the brook of Kison, which perished at Endor, they became as dung for the earth. Make their numbers like a rat, and like Zahab, yea, all their princes, as Sabbath, and as Almuda, who said, let us take to ourselves the houses of the power and possession. Oh my power, make them like a wheel, as the stubble before the wind, as the fire burning for wood, and as the flame set the mountains on fire. So persecute them with that tempest, and make them afraid with that storm. Fill their faces with shame, that they may seek thy name. Oh Yahweh, let them be confounded and troubled forever. Hey, let them be put to shame. Perish. That men may know thou, whose name alone is Yahweh, the Most High, of all the earth. Let's sing in the Hebrew. Barakatah Yahweh. Wa Yahushua. Wa Mayaka Allah. Wa Alahayim. Wa Tazabya Allah. Wa Yahayim. Ha Alawakyam. Ha Saranya. Ha Kwatazayanya. Ha Kayayanya. Wa Ha Aquathia. Yahweh, Hashem Yahushua, in the English, bless you, Yahweh, and Yahushua, and Michael, and the angel, Commander General Yohanan, the generals, the captains, the officers, the troopers, and the sisters, Yahweh, in the name of Yahushua, thank you, so be it. Bless Israel, Yahweh, Hashem Yahushua, Raklanawa, Wayasharala, Wahabaya, Saparia, Barak, Rafa'ah, Agad, Yasharala, Hashem Yahushua, Wadaman. Yahweh, in the name of Yahushua, bless us, and Israel, and the school. Bless, heal, shield, protect Israel, in the name of Yahushua. Thank you. So be it. I ask you to get curses
Blessed are you, Yahweh.
Blessed are you, Yahweh.
King of heaven and earth.
King of heaven and earth.
And all things living.
All things living.
Yahweh.
Yahweh.
The name of Yahushua.
The name of Yahushua.
Listen to us now.
Listen to us now.
Right now.
Right now.
Send evils and curses.
Send evils and
And punishment and destruction.
Punishment and destruction.
To the heathen
To the heathen
that speak against us.
that speak against
Like
us.
prophets.
Like prophets.
The teachers. The princes.
The
priests. The Israelite brothers.
Israelite brothers.
And the school.
And the school.
Send evils and curses.
Evils and curses.
And punishment and destruction.
Punishment and destruction.
To the heathen.
To the heathen.
And shake loose the treasure
Shake loose the treasure.
of the rich of Israel.
The rich of Israel.
That refuse to give to the school.
That refuse to give to the
Cause
school.
their riches to enter into that sanctuary.
All their riches that enter that sanctuary.
Send evils and curses.
Evils and curses.
And punishment and destruction.
Punishment and
To
destruction.
the Edomites.
Edomites.
And their nations.
The nation.
And their drug dealers.
And drug
The corpses.
corpses.
Princesses.
Princesses.
Planned
Planned
Parenthood.
Parenthood.
All the governments of our enemies.
All governments of
Amalek synagogues and all.
Amalek synagogues.
Roman Catholic Church.
Roman Catholic.
The Pope.
Pope.
Islam.
Islam.
Christianity.
Christianity.
Egyptology.
Egyptology.
Militia.
Militia.
Ku Klux Klan.
Ku Klux Klan.
Aryan Nation.
Aryan Nation.
Skinhead.
Skinhead.
Basi Kabatazi.
Basi Kabatazi.
The gay movement.
Gay
The
movement.
lesbian movement.
Lesbian.
Spies.
Spies.
Workers of witchcraft.
Workers of witchcraft.
Nassau Space Force.
Nassau Space
Army.
Army.
Navy.
Navy.
Air Force.
Air Force.
Marines.
Marines.
Wall Street.
Wall
Space Force.
Space Force.
Open up the internet.
Open up the
And the airwaves.
And the airwaves.
The cable access channel.
Cable access
And the radio channel.
Radio channel.
Convict the spirit
Convict the
of
spirit.
many of thy people
Many of our people.
that seek to stop us
That seek to stop us.
and bring swift destruction
Bring swift destruction.
to all the heathen
All the heathen
that stand in the way
that stand in the
and
way.
try to stop us
Try to stop
from broadcasting your word
Broadcasting your
on the
word.
planet Earth.
On the planet.
Let loose all the plagues.
Let loose all the plagues.
Cause them to go to and fro
Cause them to go to and
to the
fro.
earth
The earth.
and consume them.
Consume them.
Let the plagues
plagues
shake the house of the thief
The house of the thief.
and the murderer
And the murderer.
and Yahushua.
Yahushua.
Michael and Gabriel.
Michael and
Come
Gabriel.
down with the flying saucers
Down.
and punish all the heathen
Punish all the
that come up against us
Come up against
as we speak that word.
us.
Was it to be known by all?
Was it to be known by all?
It is the angels that have done it.
Exactly.
Was it to be spread to the media?
Throughout
Throughout the whole world?
the whole
Was
world.
it to shake that back coming?
Shake it
In
down.
the name of Yahushua, thank you always.
Thank you always.
So be it.
So be it.
Psalm 23. Says Yeshavia. Men of Israel, we're going to give one courtesy salute. Men of Israel, Amachim Shabbat. Amachim Barak. Yahweh Hashem Yahushua Barakah. That's my top. Saul to the sister. Sister Amachim. Men of Israel, we're going to give one courtesy salute to the sister. Men of Israel, Amachim Shabbat. Amachim Barak. Yahweh Shabbat Hashem Yahushua. That's my top. Listeners. Did we have any questions? Anybody commented on the?
It was coming, it was no question.
What they said?
Martin Pate said shalom. Lots of London said shalom. Adrian Johnson, this sister we covered here said shalom. Gadol Yala. Texas Trooper Gadol Yala. Texas.
Lots, so I'll turn that
Chantel.
Yeah.
couple of notches.